Hey guys, Dylan from the Geek Duo here, and today I'll be bringing you my reaction to Ahsoka Season 1, Episode 4. I've only got the title as Part 4 because it hasn't updated yet, and the synopsis is Hera risks her career to help her friends while Ahsoka and Sabine confront their enemies. So, obviously, Hera does what we all assumed she was going to when she was reporting to them after the meeting with the senators and all that. And she's just going to ignore their ruling and go help them anyway. Because once a rebel, always a rebel, even if you're rebelling against the good guys, restricting your abilities. But there's also the fact that she was speaking to them and all of a sudden just lost contact, so yeah. And this is likely the episode where we get Shin versus Sabine Part 2 and Ahsoka versus Balin. Because I thought those in the last episode, then they went off into the forest at the end. So, anyway, let's get this started in 3, 2, 1, go. So, talking about my confusion with the past episode with Sabine and all that, apparently, and I can't remember if I talked about this last week or not, the Force, anyone is capable of wielding it. It's just there are those who have a predisposition to having excellent control over it. And these are usually sensed and brought forward by the Jedi. Yet anyone can learn to wield it even in a minute state. Well, even if just in a minute state. Do we let them go and tag along? Or do we destroy their means? And that might be. I know you're right, but I'm not going to admit it. a very slow start. Yep, there's the droid. Hmm. What would he be scared of there? Fallen Jedi. Okay, that's the title of this episode. Did you forget to bring ammo? I know it's only been a couple of weeks since I watched the episode, but is that not a quote that's from her to Lux in the Clone Wars? Or at least an approximation of it? Hmm. You'd think that a Padawan trainer would be able to hold up more against a assassin droid. Teamwork. really taking your son on a dangerous mission? Yeah, what's up with that? Didn't catch that one. From the few channels that I've seen for this, uh, reactions, apparently he does enunciate more in this than did in Rebels. I had to find some way to forgive me. I would have thought that was a cameo trio with him, but what is your story? I know we're gonna find it out, but I'm curious now. Now they've both done the cape thing. So much for staying together. Oh, you're about to get disrespected if she's only using one. That was definitely a move. A backflop under a laser, a sword strike. She's now killed, what, two, three Inquisitors? The fuck? Hey, think of it this way, Speed. You can add a couple purified crystals to your saber. So they really made it so that the Inquisitor was just the Inquisitor. Like, he wasn't anyone special, just fodder to die. I was not expecting that. I wasn't fully on board with either of the main theories, but then again, we've never seen someone die like that, so that could mean something too. I walked away before he became that. Hmm. It is also surprising that he knows Anakin was Vader. Because that wasn't wide knowledge, even amongst the Inquisitors. Hmm. I am not familiar with the stance that she was taking. I'm familiar with him. He's got a broadsword stance. I don't know the actual names of it, but it's usually what I see it with. But with her, it wasn't quite a katana. What's the other long thin blade? Starts with an N. Might have been that. For a big, like a stocky older gentleman, you do have some power and movement in your attacks. Lord Balin. Well, she does have a whistling bird though. Really? Smoke bombs? Would Ezra really want you to make this journey if it meant the risk of throne returning? When he willingly sacrificed himself to take throne away? That was not surprising. Hmm. How much of this was planned, though? Hmm. And surprisingly, the Purgle are gone. Hmm. I mean, it's a massive fuck off ring. You need to be exactly in line with one of the sides, otherwise, it's just gonna it's not gonna matter if you're in its way. Provided that hyperspace does not create a literal bubble encapsulating the craft, in which case that centering would be. Well, it sort of did what I thought it might with the ring, but it was more of a power. Hmm. That was a trippy visual. Oh. You're back here. Like, we thought this would play a role, but how did you get here? You did know that Hayden was going to be in this. Why you gotta do that? What? Why the Vader theme? What? Why? Why was there the need for Vader? That was Anakin. Anakin shouldn't be Vader. Okay, so when I said why is she back there, I assumed that to be the world between worlds. Yes, I know it was more blue than white, like, but there's already been some visual discrepancies between stuff shown in Rebels and stuff shown in this. Plus, there's the fact that if you compare Rebels to Clone Wars, and then Clone Wars to live action, there's already they're all different mediums, so of course there'd be some differences. But if Anakin's there, assuming that is actually Anakin, which there's every possibility that it isn't, because she did. Well, I'm going to continue that thought later, but there's. Assuming that is Anakin, she may well be on the verge of death. Because, well, obviously she's not going to die halfway through a show that bears her name as the title. Obviously. It's like, it's just not going to happen, but they could take her out of action in a semi-tangible plane of existence, sort of like limbo that's only accessible to those with high sensitivity to the Force, i.e. Jedi, and sort of a bridge realm. No, because that didn't take the... I was going to say think King's Cross from the final Harry Potter, but that didn't take his actual body. Whereas this one did. And we know that Jedi, when they die, their body disappears. Is there the chance that that's what this is? Or is it because she touched Night Sister magic? So, we know Morgan has some access to Night Sister magic because she's using it to project the star map and everything. And they made very clear note of Ahsoka burning herself when she grabbed the orb. Like, she grabbed it, it started sizzling in her hand till she could no longer hold it. And you could see the burns on her hand when she was using the Force to, like, reinforce her lightsaber block. So there is every possibility that Morgan laid a trap on the orb in case someone unauthorized were to, say, grab it, and then that would just sort of, I don't know, trap them in their own mind or something, and it just happened to take a while to take effect, and she may well be hallucinating all of this. As I said, we knew that Hayden was going to be in this. Can you really have an Ahsoka show without at least some reference to Anakin? Like, it was bound to happen even before we actually got the announcement. And, well, it's interesting what role he's going to play, because I assumed this was just going to be going back to the King's Cross parallel. He would take the place of Dumbledore, like the wise mentor that is long since passed, coming in to speak to the person on the, like, stuck between life and death, who has the ability to choose which way they go. The problem is, then it played the Vader theme, and which again calls back to World Between Worlds, because it was Ahsoka's fight with Vader. That's what she was pulled from when Ezra brought her into the World Between Worlds. Like, for him, she just vanished into thin air when Ezra grabbed her. And that was the day that she learned 100%, like she saw with her own eyes, that Anakin was Vader. And while they were in there, they encountered a visage of Palpatine, who was aware of what they were doing, and he sent a wave of blue fire through the portal through which they were viewing him, and seemingly destroyed the realm. However, could he have done some sort of Sith corruption to it? In which case, anyone who travels into there in the future could be forced to experience dark side aspects of this world, attempting to corrupt them. I don't know. As I said, I only know what I've seen in new Rockstar videos. Like, I've been watching their breakdowns of Star Wars shit for ages. There's been references to Rebels in their videos for ages. Even before watching the Path to Ahsoka thing that they've recently done, I knew about the World Between Worlds. I knew all of the fights. Like, even when I was watching Obi-Wan, which was before I started watching Clone Wars, I said, oh, this fight between him and Vader is going to have a scene mirroring Ahsoka's fight with Vader, where they slice his mask and you get the whole half-face thing. And then that turned out to be correct. So obviously, I knew back then what happened in Rebels. So I just don't know everything. Like, I don't know how that world works. I don't think anyone really knows how that world works, but I don't know. Is it only accessible to Jedi? Is it only accessible to select ones that have been chosen by the Loaf Wolves? Could Vader have followed them in the split second after Ahsoka was brought in? Can it be corrupted? Does the realm still exist even though it was seemingly destroyed? I know Dave Filoni has said yes, they destroyed it because they didn't want to use it as a, like, oh, this exists, this is our way out of all problems and everything. That could have just been throwing us off the scent. Is this even related to that, or is this something completely different? Who knows? Yeah. Sabine handing the orb back to Balin to get the map finalized and everything, that was not surprising. Like, sure, I know it's gonna come down to it that she realizes she's made a mistake. She's going to try and remedy it, but in doing so, she's also going to be too late to stop them. And there's also the fact that, as I said, Ezra willingly used the Purgle. He sacrificed himself to keep Thrawn away from this galaxy and all that. And now you've given the orb, which is the only key to his location, to people wanting to bring Thrawn back because you wanted to bring him back. Like, I don't know what Ezra's character's like, really, but I don't think he'd be all too happy about that. Also, Marek's dead. As far as we know, the last Inquisitor, is dead. There's a possibility that because of the way in which he died, like that scream with all the black smoke and everything, might not have been fully death, might have just been smoke and mirrors, because we know they also used smoke bombs in that. Like, could have been a trick. I doubt it. Not entirely sure what it was. It almost reminded me of the Night Sister zombies, but there's not. I don't know why they would go down that route. So I'm just going to say it reminded me of this. If it turns out to be correct, then props to me, but I highly doubt that's actually what it is. So, Anyway, I'm gonna end this one here. I'll catch you in the next one.